The last house on Willow Street. It was close to midnight when Rachel Miller's car sputtered, coughed, and finally died on the edge of Willow Street, a long, tree-lined road on the outskirts of Salem, Massachusetts. The air was heavy with fog, and her headlights barely pierced the darkness. She tried her phone, no signal. The silence was unsettling. No passing cars, no crickets. Only the wind rattling the trees. As she stepped out, cold rain started falling. That's when she saw it. At the far end of the road, half hidden behind wild oak branches, stood an old, decaying Victorian house. Its broken shutters banged softly against the siding, and a faint yellow light flickered inside. Her instincts screamed to stay away. But with nowhere else to go, Rachel tightened her coat around her and walked toward it. The front gate was crooked, nearly falling off its hinges. A mailbox read, "Turner Family." The name stirred something in her memory, though she couldn't place it. She knocked on the door. No answer. She tried again, louder this time. Suddenly, the door creaked open, just enough to reveal a dark hallway. Against her better judgment, she stepped inside. The smell hit her first. Mold, damp wood, and something metallic. The wallpaper was peeling, and every surface was coated with dust. On the walls hung portraits of a family, a mother, father, and a little girl. But in each portrait, the faces were scratched out with deep gouges. "Hello?" Rachel called out. Her voice echoed strangely, as if the house swallowed the sound. Then came the faint creak of footsteps from upstairs. Slow, heavy. A candle flickered to life in the parlor on its own. Rachel's heart pounded as she stepped inside. In the corner sat a rocking chair, moving steadily back and forth, though no one sat in it. The fire in the hearth roared suddenly, filling the room with light. And then she heard it, a woman's voice, faint but clear. "Why did you come back, Anna?" Rachel froze. "Who's there?" "I'm not Anna." The rocking chair stopped instantly. The silence that followed was so deep, she could hear her heartbeat. She turned to the portraits again. The scratched-out faces were no longer damaged. They were restored, and every single one of them looked just like her. The footsteps returned, louder now, coming from above. Against her will, Rachel climbed the staircase. The hall was lined with doors, each slightly open. From behind one door, she heard a child's giggle. From another, whispers, "Stay, stay with us." She pushed open a bedroom door. Inside, toys were scattered across the floor. The bed was neatly made, but the sheets looked decades old. On the nightstand sat a cracked music box. When Rachel touched it, the box sprang open on its own, playing a distorted lullaby. The little girl from the portraits appeared in the mirror across the room, pale skin, dark hollow eyes, smiling at her. Rachel screamed and stumbled backward, but when she looked again, the mirror was empty. Desperate to leave, she ran back downstairs, but the front door slammed shut with a deafening bang. Locked. She rushed to the back of the house, and there she found a door leading downward. A cold draft pushed her inside, forcing her toward the basement. The air grew colder with every step. The basement smelled of rotting earth. At the bottom, she found a diary lying atop a wooden trunk. Its leather cover was brittle, but the writing inside was still legible. "Anna tried to leave us. She wore another face, but blood remembers. The house remembers." Rachel's hands shook as she read. She looked up at the cracked mirror across the room and gasped. Her reflection wasn't hers anymore. It was Anna, the little girl from the portraits, staring back at her with a wide, toothy grin. The basement lights flickered. From the shadows, multiple figures emerged. Pale, thin, their faces stretched in unnatural smiles. They whispered in unison, "Welcome home, Anna." Rachel backed into the corner, screaming, but the figures closed in. The air grew heavy, suffocating. She shut her eyes. When she opened them again, the basement was empty. She ran upstairs. The house seemed alive now. The wallpaper pulsed as if breathing. The floorboards groaned like bones breaking. The portraits all watched her with identical Rachel faces. At last, the front door swung open. Without thinking, she bolted outside into the rain. She ran all the way down the street until she reached her car again. Relief washed over her when she saw it sitting there, headlights on, engine idling. She yanked open the door and jumped inside. But when she looked into the driver's seat mirror, her reflection smiled back at her and didn't stop smiling. The next morning, police found Rachel's car abandoned on Willow Street. The keys were still in the ignition, but the driver's seat was empty. That night, passers-by reported something strange. In the Turner family house, the once dark windows glowed with light, and in the family portrait that hung above the fireplace, a new face had appeared. Rachel's, smiling with the Turners as though she had always belonged there.